Peace and blessings, fam. I'm your brother in the struggle for peace, truth, prosperity, freedom, justice, and equality, Brother Minister Ali. Today, family, I would like to share with you some information about first-time home owners. Let me start out by explaining one of the great myths about the United States of America when it comes to this real estate game. One, you see these houses out here? If you can afford a project, if you can live in a project and pay rent in a project, if you can afford to rent an apartment, I don't care if you live on the West Coast, down south, if you live on the East Coast, what have you, anywhere in the United States of America, even in its commonwealths, you can afford a house. Now, some people don't want a house. Some people, like I used to live in an apartment, me and my wife, and it was convenient because we didn't have to worry about cutting the grass, shoveling the snow, repairs, none of that. So, some people like an apartment for various reasons. So if you good, you good. But at the same time, the money we paying for an apartment, we could have got a house. So if you want to move into a house, you can use that option. Look at these beautiful houses you see out here in this rural area. So I'm gonna get back to this rural area or the suburban area in a minute. But basically, there are some basic misunderstandings about becoming a first-time homeowner. The number one mistake or the number one misunderstanding is you can't afford it. Like I said, if you can afford to live in the projects, you can afford to live in a house. If you can afford to live in an apartment, if you're paying a landlord rent every month, you can refinance that, move out of there, and get you a house to call your own, a house that's in your name, a house where every time you pay the mortgage, I ain't talking about renting a house, I'm talking about mortgaging your own house. Now, I'm not talking about buying a house outright. I'm not talking hip hop money, drug money, hustler money. I'm saying, but having a nice house where you be like, yo, I paid less for my house than I was paying rent for my small apartment. I had a 1-bedroom apartment and I was paying $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Now I got a beautiful house with 3 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms, 1 bath, 2.5 bathrooms. And I only pay $700 to $2,000 a month. The same money or less money that I was paying for my apartment, I'm now living in a house. But people don't understand how to take those steps, how to make that happen. I'm gonna give you the game for free. I'm gonna put you down, all right? Step number 1, we want to look at some of the majors. There's other options, but I want to talk about the main federal options on how this mathematically works out. Step number 1, an FHA loan. That's basically your federal housing authority. Step number 1, do you need good credit? No. It helps if you got good credit. It'd be better if you had good credit. But if you had a credit score, say $580, if you was on welfare getting an EBT card, you can get a nice house. If you just came home from prison and didn't have no credit, you can get you a house. They'll give you the money for a house. Okay. I don't believe in no spooky stuff. Now the way it mathematically goes is a little complicated, but I want to simplify it for you. Basically, if you got a credit score of say a 580, say you had bad credit, you still can get the house as long as you can pay 3.5% in interest. In some situations, they'll let you have a credit score of only a 500. They be like, okay, you just came home, you on parole, you just got home, you on welfare, you just got out the rehab, you was homeless. It don't make a difference. You know what I mean? You just got a little job working here and there, you get minimum wage. Your credit score could be a 500 and they still give you the keys to your own crib, your own house. All right. Now, 3.5%. I'm gonna simplify that for you. Don't think about it all complicated. 3.5% interest rate. No, I'm gonna simplify that. What does it mean by 3.5? 3.5. Anything in mathematics that says 5 means a whole number. Like, say for example, if you had $3.50 in mathematics, you have $4. Anything under a 5 or 0.5 or 50 cent is not a dollar. Like, say you had $3.49, you only have $3. So if you have an interest rate at 3.5, technically you're paying 4%. If you got $3.50, technically you got $4. That's how bankers and lenders and mathematicians look at things in mathematics. They call that in mathematics the law of the ratio. Your ratio is 3.5. Meaning what? If you get $100,000 house, you can move in that house for $3,500. Now, what I can do on my side is I could get with you and mathematically show you how to get a credit card. Say you get say I build your credit, get you a LLC, a nonprofit, whatever, build your credit score. You got a $5,000 credit card. You got a $10,000 Spark card. You got $10,000 on your Savior card. You could take your credit card and move into a house next month. Yeah, I'm gonna say that again. You can move into a house in 30 to 90 days, family. I mean, so that's what's called a FHA loan. All right, now after that comes what they call a conventional loan. Now, the conventional loan is a little harder than the FHA loan. A conventional loan, your credit score normally is like a 620, which is technically a mediocre credit score, but it works. You know what I mean? A 620. You know what I mean? Some places let you even have a lower one, but I want you to understand now, if you got a lower than 620 credit score, you're going to pay a higher interest. It's going to cost you a little bit more money to move into that particular residence. So I'm going to give you the game. Listen carefully. Take notes. Okay, so as I was saying, you can get a conventional loan as long as your credit score is 620. If you have a lower credit score, you still could get the house in your name. The only difference is you'll be paying a higher interest rate, a higher mortgage, if you will. All right. Then you have what's known as a VA home loan. And while it's fresh on my head, I don't want to get too much into it because I just learned about it yesterday. It just came out within like the past 48 hours. Yesterday I was watching the DNC, the Democratic National Convention thing, and one of the things that the Democrats is talking about passing is basically Kamala Harris. She caught my attention because she basically is talking about, I don't remember the exact amount, but I believe it's like $25,000 upfront home loan for first-time home buyers, which is prong number 3 that I do know about, and that's the VA home loans. If you ever served in the U.S. military, say you had a spouse that was in the military, you personally never been in the military, but say you're a child and you grew up with a military parent, even the children can claim the VA benefits. But the VA home loan changes every year, I believe it is. But basically, long story short, what they do is they give you a voucher, and they basically be like, okay, here's one piece. They give you like one sheet of paper front and back, or 2 pieces of paper, and they basically give you a voucher telling a real estate owner, listen, we're going to guarantee this person for, say, $38,000 to $50,000. So that is like you putting $38,000 or $50,000 up front. So you get a beautiful home. I mean, you get your little baby mansion if you want. I mean, and you move in. It's in your name. You know, you do your mortgage thing, whatever the case may be, and you can always upgrade and refinance a VA home loan. Now, for the VA home loans, the government doesn't require a high credit score. I didn't see clients where they had horrible credit, bankruptcies, not a bankruptcy, bankruptcies with an S. I'm talking 1, 2, 3 different bankruptcies, a credit score of only 500. You still could get a house with a, if you served in the U.S. military. I know brothers and sisters that physically be sleeping on vents. I seen brothers laying down on the ground on the steam vent in Philadelphia, for example, right across the street from 8th and Market. This is a real life brother that I helped years ago. He was physically laying on a vent. I mean, and it was freezing cold outside, but he was laying on his vent because the vent had steam. And I understood he needed some heat, but I was like, dang, when you laying on steam, scientifically, you're going to get wet. So when the steam go off, or once you get off and you come in this cold weather, you're going to die. You're going to get sick. You're going to get a pneumonia. You could kill yourself like that. Now, I mean, you know, so I knew the brother needed a few dollars, so I just stopped and spoke to him a little bit. It was like, you know what I mean? He was like, look, man, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get a little something to eat, a cup of hot coffee or something. I really appreciate it if you could spare $2, boo, bang. I ain't have a lot of money. I usually don't give dudes money. I can tell you that now because I'm looking at it like they really just want to get high or get drunk or something. But some of them, I just give them money because they got the right aura. They got the right spirit. I'm into energy. You know what I mean? They match my energy. I'm like, okay, I can tune in on him. I'll give him $20. You know what I mean? But this brother, not only did I give him $20, but I talked to him a little bit. I'm like, let me ask you, you know what I mean? How you get in this situation? You know what I mean? And he explained to me, brilliant brother, real intelligent, served in the military, just fell on hard times. He really had post-traumatic stress disorder. He never really got the psychological or mental health treatment that he needed, and he just turned to like drugs and alcohol and messed up the family and wound up homeless. All right. And you know, I got his information and everything. He told me, I was like, listen, I can't do nothing for you right now because I don't live in the city. I live outside the city, but I'm gonna be back in the city in like 2 days. If you in this area, I'm gonna scoop you up, take you out to lunch, get some information from you, and get you back on your feet. Inshallah, if it's the will of God in person. You know what I mean? And you know, once he got his head right, you know what I mean, we had to get him a little rehab, get him some psychological counseling, you know, get him in some therapy. But economically, I was able to, he had a horrible credit. He didn't even really have identification, but we got him in order. Now, I mean, got his confidence built back up. Now, I mean, brought the God that was already there to the surface by making it dominant, not recessive. And long story short, I mean, you know, the good brother got him a VA home loan. His first house was like $150,000. Now, I mean, and now, you know, he got his own VA nonprofit. He got his own grants. You know what I mean? I don't get in his financial business, but he in the suburbs, beautiful house. He owns his, he don't lease the car. He own his car. He got money in the bank. He got a new wife. You know what I mean? You know, but he doing this thing. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win situation. You know, our motto is to help our people to help themselves. Not to look in the sky, not to pray within without working without. They got to do something too. I'm not the Messiah. I'm not, all I do is help people help themselves. I'm not going to do the work for you. I'm not going to take the money from my bills and put it in your pocket to pay your bills. None of that. Now, I mean, you know, I'm not impressed with the cute girls and the big booties. None of that. You're not going to come at me as no gold diggers, none of that. But as far as helping out people to help themselves, I do that from the heart. You know what I mean? And I'm going to match that energy. If I see they on some nonsense, I'm going to fade. I'm out. I mean, you know, but if I see they trying, they take 3 steps, I'm gonna take 10. You see what I'm saying? I'll do the hard work. I'll do the mathematics. You know what I mean? But they gotta listen. A lot of our people, I could tell you now, a lot of people, I give them the game, I give them a plan of action, and they'll take and use some of it. Then they just get distracted and don't follow up, don't finish up. You know what I mean? It's like they expect everything to come easy. Everything's difficult. That's the nature of the universe we live in. You know what I mean? But Allah loves those that strive. You gotta strive to make things happen. You know what I mean? So that's the VA home loans. If you a veteran, you definitely get with me on that. The other thing is the USDA loans. Now the USDA loans is the United States Department of Agriculture. The reason I like those is pros and cons to all of them, but those you need a 640 credit score, but you can have a lower credit score than that and still come up and make things happen. Now, I mean, I'm giving you some off the record type stuff. Basically, you got to look at it from the government's perspective. United States got 6 million square miles, 2,000, about 3,000 from Philadelphia to California is 3,000 miles. All right. When you have that much land, it's undeveloped. It's uncultivated. You see what I'm saying? It's like they losing money if you don't have a house. But homelessness is spreading in Philadelphia, California, Texas, what have you, Miami. Now, I mean, so the people are suffering because of a lack of knowledge. Like the Bible teaches what? My people are destroyed because of a lack of alimi, knowledge, the information. Now, I mean, you need not pseudoscience. You need factual, practical information that's going to help you to help yourself. All right. Where right now in the housing market and the housing crisis that's going on, it's like they going to intentionally make it more and more difficult for you to own a home. But right now, you can still get in where you fit in. Now, I mean, like I told you, that FHA loans, the conventional loan, you could do the VA loan, the USDA loan. Your credit score, like I said, should be like a 640, but it could be as low as I've seen people do it with like 580s, 560s. Now, I mean, so it all depends. The thing that I like about the USDA loan, you don't need a penny. Let me say that again. You can get a house from the federal government under USDA loan if you don't have $10 in the bank. You don't need, they take and pay 100% of your move-in costs. They take care of all that. But the thing is, the difference is you're going to be in a rural or suburban area. In the hood, we call it, they move you out in the boondocks. Some people like it in the boondocks. Now, I mean, I live in a township. I got a house out in a township where it's like, we have people in our area, but I like the beauty of nature and the trees and the privacy. I mean, like we get in the car, we go 5-10 minutes down the road, we in the hood. I mean, like the supermarket, the stores, whatever, all that's like 10 minutes away. But we live in a area where I've been out there now probably for like 10 years. In 10 years, I would say, how many crimes we had in 10 years? None. I mean, we got white neighbors, black neighbors. How many racial incidents did we have? None. I mean, it's like the peace of mind. Like, you literally do not have to lock your door. I lock my door. I got the Ring doorbell, security, that thing. I'm from those that never had anything. So I still have my psychological paranoia and schizophrenia and anxiety, depression. So I got post-traumatic stress. So it's like I'm going to be security minded regardless. My wife be like, "Why you all this?" I'm like, listen, I need the floodlights. I mean, all that. At nighttime, it's pitch black around here. Nah, I mean, if a deer came near the yard, the light come on, poof, floodlight. I mean, so everybody is different. Everybody is unique. Now, I mean, and now that we got all these security systems in this peaceful area, I noticed that 70% of my neighbors now got floodlights, security cameras, Ring doorbells. And I mean, you know, I'm from North Philly. So my thing, we don't do all that. We lock the car, you know what I mean? But around here, it's way more lax. You know what I mean? You know, I never did the financing under the USDA, but that's the areas they move you to, is like the suburbs, out in rural areas, like in farming areas. But you got the keys to your crib. Now, I mean, you know, you got the bathroom upstairs, the bathroom downstairs. The basement is what they call a finished basement, like it's carpet. The basement look like a beautiful apartment. I mean, that's your base. You don't see no pipes and water heaters, none of that. All that stuff is like in closets and panels, and you know what I mean? It's a studio in my joint. We got the studio lights. So it's a beautiful home that you live in with no mice and bugs. You see none of that kind of stuff. The beautiful garage. Know what I mean? So I'm not talking no raggedy houses. I mean, I'm talking real nice stuff. Now, I mean, you might get in at 150,000, and a few years later, your property worth 300,000. See what I'm saying? You could get the equity out of that property. Now, I mean, so home ownership is not your biggest investment, but would be your smartest and quickest investment. Know what I mean? So I want you to understand how that mathematically works, how that processing works. The knowledge is the power. Know what I mean? I teach it one-on-one, but I give general videos like this for free to put you down. But to learn more, make sure you go visit my website. It's noireport.online. That's noireport.on. In fact, I'm trying to make sure I put a link somewhere in this video. Know what I mean? But the way this mathematically works, when I get with my clients, even though you could get the house, I don't like to just have you grab anything. It's like playing Monopoly. You're like, okay, you go on Baltic Avenue. I'm like, nah, be patient. Get something better than that. Now, I mean, like let's link our thoughts. Let's sit down, take counsel amongst ourselves. Now, I mean, the book of Proverbs tell you what in the Bible. Now, I mean, where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counsels, there is safety. You see? So come take counsel with your brother. Get with the supreme angel. I mean, so I could give you some knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and experience, and show and prove to you how to execute a plan of action to move in this capless and pearless system. This is a matter of God. It takes money to make money. You see what I'm saying? But what's more important than physical wealth? It's mental wealth, spiritual wealth. I'm not talking just religious mumble jumble, organized religion. I don't believe in that. I ain't talking about just going to church, going to the masjid, going to temple service, talking about peace of mind and contentment, money, good homes, and friendships. No, but you don't have a good home. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no friendships in all walks of life. I mean, no, I'm talking about showing and proving, making it happen in real time. Know what I mean? And that happens by having actual facts. Not just reciting your lessons, but living those lessons. That's how you mathematically attract those blessings. All right. So I'm gonna give you that which you're not gonna get from wazirs or other ministers and imams and reverends and gurus and sheikhs and charlatans. I mean, I'm gonna put you down with some real gang. Now, I mean, teach you how this thing works, show and prove to you systematically and mathematically. And basically what I'll do is step one, get you instead of moving you, like I said, in any place, I prefer to take counsel with you over the phone or in person, whatever. And first, just understand your present situation. And I've always been analytical in my thinking, mathematical in my thinking. So I'll be able to take and listen to you for like 10 minutes to 30 minutes and be like, okay, and come up with a plan of action right there. I'll be able to analyze, deputize, or scrutinize it and give you a step forward. Be like, okay, at this time, instead of going for the house, let me first build your credit for like 9 months. Let me get your credit score. I would prefer to get your credit score stronger, because I could do this for you. I could get you a house in like maybe 90 days, 6 months tops, but your mortgage going to be higher. Now, I mean, you know, it's going to be a smaller house, a cheaper house. But if we take and don't just get greedy and desperate and rush into it, let me go ahead and build that credit score a little bit and give you a plan of action. And then be like, okay, instead of coming at them with this 620 credit score, we now coming with a 720 or 780 credit score. So now that drops your mortgage by maybe $200 to $1,000. That takes you, instead of you getting a $100,000 house, you getting a $200,000, $300,000 house. Now, I mean, so it's a win-win situation. Now, I mean, but saburi or patience is imperative. Now, I mean, you know, the Holy Quran teaches us Allah loves the saburi, or the patient ones. Now, I mean, so you gotta understand the time and what must be done. Now, I mean, you have to be serious. Now, I mean, it's like a lot of people, they just want to call in and pick my head, and you know what I mean, they want to email and waste my time. They want me to babysit them, and like, I ain't got time for none of that. Time is money. Now, I mean, but if you're serious, we can make it happen. You know, I'm so confident in what I do. My thing is, I give you 2 simple steps. Now, I mean, I'll be like, all right, step 1, we do this. Step 2, we do that. Now, I mean, and I'm so confident that you're going to get your paper in step 2. I'm like, in step 2, you give me this. I mean, you know, and we go from there. Now, I mean, so to learn more, check out my website at noireport.online. The struggle continues, family. One love. Peace.